Hello and welcome to the third episode of Sports Chowder with me, Sam Stebbins. We have a good show for you on this Saturday, March 2nd. We are talking about the Patriots quarterback situation, of course. We're talking about Drew Holiday on the Olympic squad, and an update about Jordan Montgomery, possibly joining the Red Sox, I hope, and a new segment. So we have a good show, so stay tuned. So as I record this, the NFL Combine is ongoing, and some interesting stories have developed from there, but I'm just going to focus on what pertains to the Patriots because I don't have time for all of that. But during media availability the other day, our de facto general manager, Elliott Wolf, confirmed that the Patriots are having meetings with Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Jaden Daniels. And this was good, of course. I really am glad he confirmed it. I appreciate some open honesty from New England as an organization. I like knowing that we're being smart with this pick, and again, this is one of the first big public indications that we're drafting a quarterback at number 3. And I really think that any of those guys would be good with the right guidance and the right coaching. What you can't do is repeat what we did with Mac Jones. You can't have 3 offensive coordinators in 3 years. You can't expect him to become the franchise quarterback immediately. And you can't be overconfident after a good rookie season. Mac had a strong rookie season because he had some tools left over from the dynasty years. He had Josh McDaniels as his offensive coordinator. And then he obviously had a rough sophomore season. Really rough. We know that. We're painfully aware of that. But that permanently ruined him for New England, I think. There was not going to be a real recovery unless a lot of intentional repair work was done by both Mac and the Patriots. And I don't think our organization and Mac as a person were on the same page the whole time. Obviously we all wanted to win, but somehow nothing clicked. Nothing clicked this past season. Too much was going wrong. I think Bill was just done with Mac at a certain point. And, that ruined what was left of his confidence as a Patriot. I know he wants to be a Patriot still, but I really don't think that's a good idea for anyone. So, of course, drafting a quarterback is the natural thing to do with this number 3 pick. Get a fresh start with a young quarterback and watch them develop. Now, Caleb Williams will likely go number 1, or at least number 2. I don't see his value falling any lower than that. And that's okay. I honestly think Caleb is slightly overrated. Nothing against him as a player. I really just think there was a lot of hype that obviously went into Lincoln Riley leaving Oklahoma for USC, taking a bunch of players and coaches with him. And a lot of people wanted to see them succeed because obviously USC is a very historical school and they're in a major media market. So of course, the powers that be wanted the Trojans to be, a big deal. And they've been successful for the most part. I mean, they've been better than USC's been, recently. But I think Jaden Daniels is actually the quarterback I'd want the most. I just think this is a guy who's coming from an SEC school on a competitive team. He had to work for his spot. And I think he has more toughness. I really do think that. Caleb is in LA. He gets his sponsorships. He gets his apartment. But Jaden's down in LSU putting in the work, playing really great teams, beating ranked teams more than Caleb Williams has, at least this past season. And they're both Heisman winners, so I don't want to take that much away from Caleb Williams. I would take both and be happy about it. Now, it's likely that Caleb and Jaden are gone after number 1 and number 2, so the Patriots will likely, if that's the case, draft Drake May. And I would be fine with that. I think Drake May is someone with a lot of potential. He's a really talented quarterback playing football at a basketball school. And I think, again, with the right strategy, with the right coaching, the right guidance, he could be a franchise quarterback. Now, to sort of circle back to Mac Jones, there was another interesting quote that came out of Elliott Wolf's press conference. He said, quote, body language on the field at that position, meaning quarterback, is very important. You don't want a guy that's throwing his hands up after a bad play, or you can see him physically pointing at somebody, unquote. Most people took that as a thinly veiled shot at Mac. And of course, it's pretty obvious, right? This is stuff Mac does. He has very little resilience as a player. And that's just obvious. It really goes to show, like I've said, Mac does not have a future in New England. And another report from MassLive.com by Mark Daniels says that the feeling around the Patriots is that they're going to draft the quarterback at number 3 and also sign a veteran quarterback to serve as the bridge. And I think this would be the wisest move. Just get rid of Mac and Bailey. Let them go somewhere else. You can trade Mac maybe for like a 5th round pick and release Bailey and move on from the past few years of mediocre Patriots football. And this gives, the rookie a season to be on the bench, to learn, to know what it's like to be on an NFL team, and then take over. Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes did not start their rookie season, and they're both ended up being great quarterbacks. Tom is the GOAT, and Patrick is obviously the greatest active quarterback and will likely go down as a top 5 or top 3 quarterback, in my opinion. So I feel good about that. I feel good that the speculation is going in that direction. It's what I've been wanting. It'll make this coming season interesting, I don't think we're going to be, Super Bowl contenders, immediately, of course. But one season with a veteran who has more experience, more toughness, will help us out a lot. And then we can move on to a younger quarterback the next season and enter a real new era. For the time being, I am choosing to be optimistic about this. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be pessimistic. There's no point in doing that until we see the on-field product week 1. So I'm choosing to be excited about Coach Mayo and to trust Elliott Wolf and the Kraft family. If for no other reason than the fact that the Patriots are a business like any football team, they want happy fans, they want people in seats, they want to charge insane prices for really good seats, and you can't do that if your team is terrible consistently. So the Patriot dynasty might be over, but we can still be a competitive team, and perhaps in the next few seasons be a contender. Anything is possible at this point, so we'll see what happens. Because I want to keep annoying fans of other teams. I want people to hate the Patriots for being successful. And I trust Coach Mayo has just enough of that Belichick DNA with his own experience and his own perspectives to build something new and exciting. Next up, let's talk some Olympic men's basketball. So I just read some reports that Drew Holiday has committed to the 2024 Olympic men's basketball squad. Now, he was a standout in 2021 for the Olympic squad, so it's really good news that he's recommitting. Apparently, USA Basketball recognized his two-way ability, point-of-attack defense, and dynamic playmaking that we Celtics fans have grown used to this season. Likely joining him is Jason Tatum again, so that just gives me even more reasons to be hype about these Olympics. Now, I'm like anyone. I like the Olympics to a certain extent. I don't watch everything, but it's really fun to see, our country come together to root for one team on the world stage and usually do really well. At least in my opinion, it's really fun. But specifically this year, LeBron is returning to the Olympic team. Steph Curry is joining him. And so many other stars, but those are the two big ones for me, in addition to Jason Tatum and Drew Holiday. Sadly, I was born in the year 2000, so I never got to see the Dream Team. But I am going to say this, and I really feel like it's fixing up to be an amazing Olympics for Team USA men's basketball. For LeBron to come back and assemble this team tells me he wants to add to his legacy in a meaningful way. And obviously winning gold at age 39 with this team of just all-star amazing players would be an amazing addition to his career. And it would get a lot of people on his side even if it's just for the Olympics. I really believe that these Olympics, with this basketball team, is the perfect opportunity for our nation to come together, regardless of your politics or your background or what NBA team you like, and just watch our nation kick everyone's butt at basketball. And that is really a beautiful thing. Next up, we have a story about the Red Sox. Alex Cora recently confirmed that the Sox have met with Jordan Montgomery over Zoom. Although he did say that multiple teams are interested, of course, and this is just one step in the process. I want to take this as a positive sign that the Red Sox are serious about signing Jordan. They're going to make a real attempt here, and hopefully it works. I want to give some credit to Dustin Pedroia here. Now, if you missed our show last week or did not otherwise see this in the media, Dustin had a FaceTime call recently with Alex and other executives with the Red Sox, where he basically said he was concerned about the team's direction, that they needed to make better free agency signings, and he even listed some players he thought the Red Sox should try and sign, including Jordan. And I think it really says a lot to a team when a former player, a former team icon, comes in and tells you they're concerned. I really think the Red Sox should not be a tough sell for free agents, given their history, given Fenway Park, given the city of Boston. Now, sure, the media in the city of Boston can be rough, and when you underperform, when you mess up and embarrass the city on the field, fans can be kind of, brutally honest. But when you win in Boston, you have a legacy forever. And unless you really mess up, like seriously morally mess up somewhere in your life, they're always going to love you. So it should not be a tough sell. The Red Sox can get back on track and back to consistently competing. Hopefully, they'll be able to sign free agents with more ease going forward. They just have to prove they care about winning consistently. It would be easy for our ownership to say, we've won 4 championships since buying the team. We're going to focus on growing our portfolio. But I don't think that's what they want. I don't think they want the media narrative of them only caring about Fenway as a tourist attraction and the Red Sox brand for, merchandise sales and, the value it has inherently. I think they do care about winning. So as long as they can prove it with some signings this offseason, I'll feel good. I really want to believe them because they've done a lot for the Red Sox and by extension, Boston and New England. So I don't want to trash them. I'm not going to be one of those people who says, oh, sell the team. No, don't sell the team. Just treat the team right. You can make a mistake. You can have some rough seasons. Trust me, a lot of team owners around this country have had rough seasons. But as long as you get back on track, your legacy is secure. So I've decided to create a new recurring segment I'm calling Assorted Awesome. When I share something that I think is really cool for one reason or the other, that may not directly have to do with the Boston team, but I think it's worth talking about, it's worth shouting out. The first ever Assorted Awesome involves none other than the GOAT, Tom Brady. And, if you're a friend of mine in real life, I will bring up Tom Brady for any reason ever. Recently, to help promote the No Bull brand that he recently bought a percentage of, and to sort of celebrate the NFL Combine, Tom Brady reattempted the 40-yard dash. Now, we all know he did not do so well at the 2000 NFL Combine. It's a part of the reason that he was picked so late in the draft that year. In the year 2000, when he was 22, he was clocked at 5.28 seconds. And recently, whenever he filmed this, he managed either a 5.18 or 5.12 40-yard dash. Now, there were two people timing him, so it was somewhere in that range. But either way, it's hilarious and impressive that he did a better 40-yard dash at the age of 46 than he did at age 22. I mean, it's even funnier because there was no pressure when he was 46. You know, he's been retired for a whole season. He's not going to come back, I hope. I hope he's not trying to come back. He was just doing it for a promotion. But when he was 22, there was all kinds of pressure. You know, he should have been ready to do really well, and he didn't. At any rate, it's hilarious. It's awesome. Go check it out on Tom's social media. It's also on the NFL's social media. The best part of this is the fact that Tom is further leaning into his legend a bit in the right ways. He knows what makes him most likable is the underdog element of his story. Being picked so low, having such a mediocre NFL Combine performance, and then having the greatest NFL career for any quarterback ever. It's really an amazing story. It's kind of like the city of Boston. A little bit scrappy. It's not as big as, New York, LA, Chicago, whatever. But it punches above its weight to be perhaps the best American city. I'm also just really enjoying this retirement Tom, He's just doing what he wants. He has this podcast, that he started as a player and he's keeping it going. And it might not be as popular as Travis and Jason Kelsey's podcast, but Tom is using it to straight up call out what he thinks is a mediocre play in the NFL today. And I think that's hilarious and awesome. And I mean, the fact that he can not take himself so seriously and do that Dunkin' Donuts commercial is also really awesome. So I'm really excited for whatever shenanigans he, Gronk, and Julian get up to at Fox, because I know it's coming, and I'm going to eat that stuff up. People who hate the Patriots will hate whatever they do at Fox, but you know what? When you attain a certain level of success, you get to be annoying for the rest of your life. Before I end this show, I'm going to share a funny story from The Dynasty, which unfortunately I've not been able to watch because I don't have Apple TV. One day I will buy it for a month or whatever and binge that whole series and love it. But for now, I just have clips and quotes from social media that I've been seeing. So this is a Matt Castle story. Matt Castle said, one time I didn't see a corner blitz and I got absolutely annihilated. Belichick came in and he says, "Castle, can we figure out the corner blitz? Because I don't want to have to write your mother a letter that says, 'Dear Mrs. Castle, we're sorry to inform you that your son is dead,' because he's a dumbass and didn't see the corner blitz." Look, I am projecting confidence about Coach Mayo and these changes with the Patriots this season, but make no mistake, I think Bill Belichick is the greatest NFL coach of all time. I think when he wants to be, he's very funny, and I think he always has a very high football IQ. So believe me, when I'm expressing any excitement or optimism about Coach Mayo, it's never to put Bill Belichick down. In fact, one of the reasons I can be so positive about Coach Mayo is that at one point, in 2013 I believe, he was described as being really close to Belichick and his family, so much so that he was described as the third son Belichick never had. Maybe my opinion is unpopular, but I think it's okay to honor the past, be enthusiastic about the past, while also being excited about the future of our team. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but that's where I am right now, and I'm not budging until I'm given a reason not to feel that way. That is all I have for this episode of Sports Chowder. You can follow me on X/Twitter @StebbensTweets, and you can follow the show on X/Twitter @sports_chowder. sports_chowder. Please feel free to tweet the show, tweet me your hot, medium, and cold takes, or things you want to see talked about on the show. For now, thank you for listening. I appreciate the support, and I'll be back here next week with a new episode of Sports Chowder.